39. Az-Zumar, the crowds. This chapter was revealed in the Middle Meccan period. It reinforces belief in the oneness of God and the dreadful consequences of denying Him. Professor Sells eloquently captures the mood of that early time. What gives the early Meccan chapters their depth, psychological subtlety, texture, and tone is the way the future is collapsed into the present, the way the day of reckoning is transferred from the fear and hope of a moment in the future to a tense of reckoning in the present moment. The centrality of the day of reckoning to the early revelations is based on a prophetic impulse to remind humanity of the moment of truth. The graphic scenes of the hereafter are presented in a variety of ways to emphasize the enormity and the terror of Judgment Day. Whilst the severity of divine punishment is stressed repeatedly in the chapter, verse 53 helps to dispel the pessimism of the sinners. Say, my servants who have wronged themselves, do not be hopeless of God's kindness. Indeed, God forgives all sins. He is the forgiver, the kind. Verse 53. The chapter opens with a commanding reference to God's majesty and questions how such a wonderful and generous Lord could be ignored and denied. God's marvelous gifts are poured on us day and night, the air we breathe, the delightful foods we enjoy, and the spouses that give us friendship and comfort. If you are unthankful, then God has no need of you. He is not pleased with the ungratefulness of his servants, but if you are thankful, he will be pleased with you. Verse 7. The chapter identifies thankful servants and congratulates them. Good news for those who avoid serving evil forces and turn genuinely to God. Verses 17 to 18. Such fortunate ones are blessed by God in an incredible way. So the one whose mind God opens with the light of Islam will have light from his Lord. But those whose minds are closed to the remembrance of God will be ruined. They are wholly misguided. Verse 22. The ability to see, feel, and speak the truth is a great gift. The next passage, again, compares the person of faith to the idol worshiper. The latter could well include the modern materialist. Can a servant devoted to many masters who are at odds with each other be the same as the one who is devoted solely to one master? Verse 29. The unthankful person is the one who is selfish, follows whims and lowly desires. The evil of what they did will distress them. The sinners will suffer the distress as a result of their deeds, and they will not escape. Verse 51. The final section of the chapter describes the crushing manner in which crowds of the wicked people will be hurled into hell. The angels will ask them, didn't messengers from among you come to recite your Lord's verses and warn you of this day's meeting? Verse 71. How they will regret that day. This is the purpose of presenting the hereafter in the present, to jolt us and fill us with awe. The end of the chapter presents a dignified entry of believers into paradise and the masses of angels praising the Lord. In the name of God, the kind and caring. This book is revealed by God, the Almighty, the Wise. We reveal to you the book with truth. So worship God sincerely with commitment. Take heed. Sincere commitment should be for God alone. People who take protectors beside him, claiming that we just worship them to achieve nearness to God, God will judge their disagreement. God will not guide the lying, thankless person. Had God wanted to take a son, he would have chosen from his creation as he pleased. Glory be to him. He is God, the one, the dominant. He created the heavens and the earth for a purpose. He merges the night into the day and the day into the night, and made the sun and the moon for a specific task, each floating in its orbit of a fixed time. Indeed, he is the Almighty, the Forgiving. He created you from a single being, then made from it its spouse, and gave you 8 pairs of livestock. He creates you in the wombs of your mothers, developing stage by stage inside 3 layers of darkness. That is God, your Lord, the absolute controller. He is the one God, so how can you turn away from him? If you are unthankful, then God has no need of you. He's not pleased with the unthankfulness of his servants. If you are thankful, he will be pleased with you. No one will carry the burden of another person. Then to your Lord you will be returned, and he shall tell you what you did. He knows your innermost thoughts. When a person suffers a hardship, he calls his Lord devoutly. Then when he eases the suffering, he forgets that a short while before he had prayed to him. And he sets up rivals with God, which misguide him from his path, say, enjoy your ungratefulness for a while. You are people of the fire. Can such a person be compared to the obedient, prostrating and standing during the night, fearful of the hereafter and hopeful of his Lord's kindness? Say, can those who know be equal to those who don't know? Only the understanding people pay attention. Say, my believing servants, be mindful of your Lord. Those who are righteous in this life will have goodness. God's earth is vast. He shall fully reward the patient without limits. Say, I have been commanded to worship God, sincerely committed to his religion, and I was ordered to be the first to submit. Say, if I disobey my Lord, I fear the punishment of a great day. Say, I worship God sincerely, committing myself to him. So worship whoever you please beside him. Say, the losers are those who lose themselves and their families on Judgment Day. That is a big loss. Smoke of fire above and smoke beneath them. With that, God frightens his servants. So my sincere servants, be fearful of me. Good news for those who avoid serving the idols and turn genuinely to God. So give my servants good news, those who listen attentively to what is said and follow the best of it. God has guided these, the ones with understanding. The one who God has passed sentence against, how can you rescue him? He's already in the fire. But those who fear their Lord, they will have lofty apartments, luxuriously furnished, and streams flowing beneath them. This is God's promise. God doesn't break his promise. Don't you see that God sends rain from the sky? He lets it seep into the ground where it forms springs. Then with it, he produces plants of different colors. Then they become dry. So you see them turn yellow. And then he turns it back into soil. In this are lessons for the understanding people. So the one whose mind God opens with the light of Islam will have light from his Lord. But those whose minds are closed to the remembrance of God will be ruined. They are wholly misguided. God has sent down a beautiful set of teachings in a book that is consistent, proclaiming promises and warnings. The skin shivers of those who fear their Lord. Then their skin and hearts relax with the remembrance of God. That is God's guidance. He guides with it who he pleases. Whoever God allows to go astray will have no guide. So the one who must shield his face from the terrible punishment of Judgment Day, the evil, will be told, taste what you have earned. Others before them also disbelieved, and they were unaware of where the punishment came from. So God made them taste humiliation in this worldly life, and the punishment of the hereafter is even greater, if only they knew. In this majestic Quran, we give examples for people of all kinds so they pay attention, to an Arabic Quran, free from any defect, so they may be mindful of God. God gives this example. Can a servant devoted to many masters who are at odds with each other be the same as the one who is devoted to only one master? All the praises belong to God. Unfortunately, the majority don't know. You shall die, so shall they die. Then on Judgment Day, you will argue with one another near your Lord. Who can be more wretched than the one who lied about God and denied the truth when it came to him? Isn't hell the final home of the disbelievers? The one who came with the truth and the one who accepted him, such are the mindful people. They shall have whatever they want from their Lord. That is the reward of the righteous. God will remove their wrongs and give them an excellent reward for what they did. Isn't God enough for his servant? Yet they threaten you with idols they worship beside God. Anyone God allows to go astray will have no guide, and anyone God guides, no one can misguide him. Isn't God the Almighty, the Avenger? If you ask them, who created the heavens and the earth? They will say, God. Say, what do you think about those you worship beside God? Can they relieve my distress? If God wished to harm me, or if he wished to be kind to me, could they stop him being kind? Say, God is enough for me. Those who trust put their trust in him. Say, my people, do what you want to do, and so will I. Soon you will know who will be humiliated by sufferings in the world and finally thrown in an everlasting punishment. We sent down the book for people. It has the truth. Whoever follows its guidance will benefit himself, and whoever goes astray will fail himself. You aren't their caretaker. God takes away the souls of people dying and the souls of the living during their sleep. He keeps hold of those whose time of death has come, but sends back others, so they will die at their fixed time. In this are lessons for thinkers. Have they chosen intermediaries beside God? Say, though they haven't got power nor understanding, say, God has complete authority for intercession. He controls the heavens and the earth. Then to him you shall be returned. When God's oneness is declared, the disbelievers of the hereafter hate it intensely. Yet when their gods beside God are mentioned, they are thrilled. Say, God, creator of the heavens and the earth, knower of the unseen and the seen worlds, you shall decide between your servants about their differences. If everything on earth plus twice as much belonged to the wicked, they would happily offer it as a ransom against the terrible punishment of Judgment Day. God will show them what they couldn't have imagined. Their evil deeds will be disclosed, and their mocking will track them as punishment. When people are distressed, they call on us. But when we give them our gifts, they claim, we've been given this because of our knowledge. No, it is a test, but most do not know this. Those before them said the same. Their works will not save them that day. The evil of what they did will distress them. The sinners will suffer the distress because of their deeds, and they will not escape. Don't they know God provides plentifully to some and sparingly to others as he pleases? In that are lessons for the faithful. Say, my servants who wronged themselves, don't be hopeless of God's kindness. God forgives all the sins. He is the forgiver, the kind. Turn devoutly to your Lord and submit to him before the punishment overtakes you. Then you shall not be helped. And follow the best teachings sent down to you by your Lord before the unexpected punishment overtakes you when you are unaware. And a soul will cry out, woe to me, since I disobeyed God and mocked his revelations. Or he will say, had God guided me, I would be among the pious. Or when he sees the punishment, he will say, if I could live again, I would be among the righteous. No, my signs came to you, but you denied them. You were arrogant and among the disbelievers. You will see on Judgment Day those who denied God, their faces darkened. Isn't hell the final home for the arrogant? And God will save the pious in a safe place where they won't be harmed, nor will they worry. God is the creator and guardian of all things. He has the keys to the heavens and the earth. Those who disbelieve in God's revelations will be the losers. Say, ignorant ones, are you telling me to worship others beside God? It was revealed to you and those before you. If you commit idolatry, all your deeds will come to nothing and you will be the losers. No, worship God and be among the thankful ones. They don't understand God's true greatness. On Judgment Day, the entire earth will be in his grip, and the heavens will be rolled up by his command. Glory be to him. He is exalted above what they associate with him. When the trumpet is blown, whoever is in the heavens and the earth will fall unconscious, except him whom God wills. Then, when it is blown again, they will stand up looking dazed. The earth will shine with the light of its Lord. The book of deeds will lay open. The prophets and other witnesses will be brought forward. Judgment will be made, and they will not be wronged. Every soul will be fully rewarded for what it did. God knows best what they did. Those who denied their Lord will be driven into hell in crowds. When they reach it, the gates will be opened, and the gatekeepers will ask them, didn't messengers from among you come to recite your Lord's verses and warn you of this day's meeting? They will say, yes, but the sentence of punishment will come to pass against the disbelievers. It will be said, enter through the gates of hell, remain in it forever. What a miserable home for the arrogant. Those who were mindful of their Lord will be led into paradise in crowds. When they reach there, its gates will be opened, and the gatekeepers will greet them. Peace be on you. You were good, so enter it and stay here forever. They will say, all the praises are for God, who kept his promise for us and gave us this place. We shall live in the garden wherever we want. What a wonderful reward for those who worked hard. You will see the angels around the divine throne, glorifying and praising their Lord. A just judgment will be passed between them, and it will be said, all the praises are for God, the Lord of the worlds.